And you just repeated the slur again. If it doesn't matter, why do you all keep questioning her identity? She's always identified as a black woman. She is biracial. She has a Jamaican father and an Indian mother. She's always identified as both. Why are you questioning that?
Well, George, first of all, this is something that's actually a conversation throughout social media right now. There are a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue. The main issue.
Sir, one second. You just did it. You just did it again.
Of the United States.
Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
That's pretend journalist and former Clinton lackey George Stephanopoulos melting down over the fact that the media can no longer shame people into silence over identity politics. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and the left has been having a real hard time getting people to believe that Kamala Harris has always identified as being black. A point that's only relevant to Republicans because it underscores the dishonesty and sleazy career opportunism of the left.
I want you to answer my question.
George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer. He talked about it on the stage yesterday in Atlanta for 2 minutes? He spent more than 35, 40 minutes going after her record, talking about how radical of a senator that she was. She was the most liberal senator in the United States, in the United States Senate. That is a fact. He talked about the job that she did as vice president of the United States, a job, I will add, which has been a failure for the American people. I know you guys like to glom on to this that he talks about in jest or in a serious manner for about a minute or so, but what you do not cover is the litany of failures of Kamala Harris. That's what you're not covering, George.
So questioning somebody's racial identity for a couple minutes is okay?
George, I'm going to tell you again, he brought it up. AP is the one that wrote the headline when she first came in to the United States Senate. Didn't talk about her being black, talked about her being the first Indian American senator. AP brought that up. I mean, George, we could have this conversation for the entire segment, but none of this matters to the American people.
You know, the media and Democrats are really worked up about this because they know that Republicans correctly called them out. I mean, if Kamala Harris really does identify as being black and everyone else views her as such, what would it matter what Trump thinks? It matters because they're going to try to use it as political capital, and they know it's something people aren't completely sold on, particularly rubes like liberal white women who are easily manipulated into voting if they can virtue signal about a candidate's race. I mean, after all, it's not conservatives who are paying black women to have dinner with them and tell them how awful they are. What the media and Democrats are essentially doing here is applying their old one-drop rule to everyone in their party to gain favor while condemning people like Byron Donalds for being dupes or race traitors.
What matters to the American people is, are we going to have the same policies of the Biden-Harris administration that has been destructive of the American people, or are we going to have the policies of the Trump administration, which put America first, had low inflation, prosperous Americans, no matter your race, no matter your color, no matter your creed, and a foreign policy that kept America safe? Those are the facts that truly matter, because this issue is going to come and go. The lives of the American people is what's going to remain, and that's what matters more than anything else.
If it doesn't matter, I don't understand why you keep on repeating it, why the president keeps on repeating it, why those introducing the president yesterday
George,
keep on repeating
I'm not
it.
the one who keeps repeating it. George, you're the one that's bringing it up now. That's
You've done it,
I understand why
sir.
You've done it.
You've done it 3 times. Every single answer you gave me. Now let me finish, sir.
George,
every single answer you gave, you repeated the slur.
You asked me, George. That's why I'm pushing back on you now, George. You asked me the question 3 times. I responded, but I'm.
And every single time you repeat the slur. That is exactly my point. You simply can't say that it's wrong.
George.
You know, the fact that Stephanopoulos asked him a question about Kamala Harris's race, then accused him of being obsessed with it because he answered, is quite possibly one of the sleaziest things I've seen from the media in a long time. But of course, it's not surprising from a weasel who attempted to shame Nancy Mace for being sexually assaulted while ignoring that he got his start in politics by intimidating women who accused Bill Clinton of doing the same. This guy is in no position to be casting moral judgment on anyone.
So then what you're saying, and I want to get off this topic because it's not the only thing that's going on. But George, now you're saying that AP is the one that slurred Kamala Harris, because those are the facts. You can go to the internet and look at the clips, George, if you want to, or we can talk about this now. I prefer to talk about the future of our country because the American people are struggling. The American people do need serious policy decisions to be made, and they need serious leadership on the world stage. Kamala Harris has not proven that she can do that. Donald J. Trump has proven that he can do that.
AP did not say that Kamala Harris is not black. She is biracial. She is Indian. She is black. You continue to repeat the fact that you continue to repeat the slur. I don't understand why you and the president do it, but it's clear you're not going to say that it's wrong. And you've now established that for our audience.
You know, I honestly can't wait till all of these pretend news outlets go belly up, and it's gonna happen sooner than you think. I mean, Donalds correctly pointed out that the media raised the same exact questions about Harris before she became the default Democrat candidate. The left is only outraged by this because they know that their backs are against the wall. They're obsessed with race, they use it as a tool, they've openly said that they make political decisions and appointments based on it, and now that they're correctly being called out, they clutch their pearls and act like conservatives are the ones upset. It's absolutely ludicrous. But let me know what you think. Who's more obsessed with race, Republicans or Democrats? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. This stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!